Alright, folks, today we're diving into a coin that's been flying under the radar for some time, the 2006 Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? Really? Worth that much? Yup, you heard me right. It's currently valued at a whopping $1.20 million. Now, before you go digging through your couch cushions, just hear me out because I've got the story of this penny that'll blow your mind, and maybe even inspire your own coin hunt. And I promise, no boring history lesson, just some fun facts, a little humor, and, who knows, maybe you'll find your next treasure right under your nose. Let's break this down. The 2006 Mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins that, in the right condition, has skyrocketed in value. But why? Well, here's the thing. Back in 2006, the US Mint was producing billions of pennies, but not all of them made it into circulation. Some were stored away, some were never released, and a few were mysteriously set aside because of errors or unique characteristics. Now, the thing that makes the 2006 so special is a combination of factors: its rarity, its condition, and its subtle, almost unnoticed details. If you come across one that's in mint condition, no pun intended, and the D-Mint mark is nice and clear, then you might have a jackpot on your hands. The current market value for a pristine, uncirculated 2006 penny can easily hit around $1.2 million, making it one of those "did I just find that" moments. But hold up. I know what you're thinking again, that's great, but how can I tell if my penny is the right one? Well, it's all about the condition. If your 2006 penny is scratched, worn down, or looking like it's been through a battle with the washing machine, then it's probably not worth much more than face value, which, let's be honest, is still a penny. However, if it's crisp, shiny, and looks like it just came off the press, that's when you've got something to get excited about. Here's a little story from my own experience. A few years ago, I was out at a yard sale, browsing through a box of old coins someone was trying to offload. There were pennies, nickels, dimes, you name it. As I sifted through, I came across a penny that looked like it had been buried in the sand for 100 years. I almost passed it up but decided to keep it because, hey, it was a penny. Fast forward to when I got home, and I noticed it was from 2006, and it was in a bit better condition than I thought. Long story short, it wasn't the $1 million find I had hoped for, but I did learn a lot about how these pennies are valued and the importance of condition. Lesson learned: never underestimate a penny, especially if it's in mint condition. Now, the key takeaway here is that just because you find a 2006 penny doesn't mean you're about to become a millionaire. But if you do find one that's in excellent condition, well, you might just have something valuable on your hands. So, make sure you're keeping an eye out for those pennies that are still sparkling, and keep in mind that the value can change depending on how much demand there is for them. Of course, you can't just keep these things tucked away in a drawer forever. No, if you find one of these gems, you want to get it appraised. And don't just take it to any old coin shop, you want to find a certified numismatist who can tell you what you've got. That's when the real magic happens. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally sell a $1.2 million penny for 50 cents because you didn't know better. But hey, let's not get too bogged down in the technicalities. The point is, there are treasures all around us, even in the most ordinary places. So, while you're sorting through your coin jar or digging around in your change, remember that sometimes the smallest coins can hold the biggest value. Okay, let's wrap this up. If you've got a 2006 Lincoln penny, take a close look at it. If it's still in great shape, you might want to hold on to it a little longer, because, who knows, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. And if you don't find one today, don't worry. There's always more change to sort through, trust me, I've been there. And now, if you're as fascinated by rare coins as I am, you'll want to hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips, tricks, and coin stories coming your way that could help you spot the next big thing in your pocket change. So, make sure you don't miss out on any of these fun and potentially lucrative discoveries. And hey, if you find a coin that's worth a fortune, don't forget to send me a thank you card. Thanks for watching, and remember, coins might be small, but their value can be huge. Catch you in the next one. Hi there, friends. Let me ask you something. Have you ever found a penny in your couch cushions and thought, it's just a penny? Who cares? Well, today, I'm here to prove you wrong. That humble penny could actually be worth over $1 million. Yes, you heard me right. One little 1988 Mint Mark Lincoln penny could change your life. So, grab your change jar, because by the end of this video, you might be sprinting to check if you've been holding on to a fortune all along. Now, let's dive into the mystery of the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny and why this tiny treasure is worth a whopping $1.1 million in today's market. And don't worry, we'll keep it light, fun, and maybe a little sarcastic, because who knew talking about coins could be this exciting? So, what makes this particular penny worth more than a used car, a luxury vacation, or, let's be real, my student loan payments? The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a bit of a unicorn in the world of coins. Most pennies have a mint mark that tells you where they were made, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But this one? Nada. No mark. It's like a blank name tag at a party, mysterious, intriguing, and worth a lot more than you'd think. Here's the kicker: the absence of the mint mark wasn't intentional. It was a mistake. And as we all know, mistakes can be priceless. Think of it like a painting with a typo or a stamp printed upside down. Collectors go wild for these quirks, and that's why this penny is so valuable. And now, before you start imagining yourself swimming in gold coins like Scrooge McDuck, let me manage your expectations. This penny is super rare. We're talking lottery-level odds here. But hey, someone's got to find one, right? Why not you? Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, I found myself in line at the grocery store, and I was short a penny. The cashier handed me one from the "take a penny, leave a penny" tray. I didn't think much of it until later that night when I was going through my pockets and noticed it looked different. My heart raced. Could this be it? The $1 million penny? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it did kickstart my obsession with checking every coin I come across. Moral of the story? Always check your change. It'll look like it forgot to finish its signature. The better the condition, the more it's worth. If it looks like it's been through a war, it might not fetch the full $1.1 million. Pro tip: grab a magnifying glass or one of those cool jeweler's loupes if you really want to get up close and personal with your coins. Trust me, it's worth the investment. The value of this penny isn't just about the mint mark error. It's also tied to its historical significance. Think about it, this coin has been around since 1988. That's over 3 decades of history. It's survived recessions, fashion trends, and the rise of the internet. It's basically the Betty White of pennies. On top of that, collectors are willing to pay big bucks for something that's not just rare but also tells a story. And the 1988 no-mint mark penny? It tells a story of imperfection, resilience, and unexpected value. Alright, folks, here's your mission. The next time you're rummaging through your spare change or cleaning out your junk drawer, take a second to really look at those pennies. You might just find yourself holding $1 million treasure, and if you don't, well, at least you've got a fun story to tell and maybe even a newfound appreciation for the coins jingling around in your pocket. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be diving into more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and ways to turn your spare change into serious cash. Who knows? The next video might just be about a nickel or dime that's worth a fortune. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Picture this: you're rummaging through your change jar, hoping to find that one gem that could make you rich. We've all been there, right? You think it's just a regular penny, but then, bam! You realize you've got a coin worth $1.4 million. Yep, you heard me right. And it's not a coin from some ancient empire or a rare minting error, it's the 2017 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who would have thought, right? But seriously, this penny is no joke. So grab your magnifying glass, sit back, and let's take a deep dive into the unexpected world of the 2017 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, how to spot it, and why it's worth so much. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2017 D-Mint Mark penny, made at the Denver Mint, is part of the usual Lincoln penny series. But here's the thing, even though it looks just like any other penny, it has some serious value if you know what you're looking for. It's not like it has an error or anything crazy, but there's a combination of rarity and demand that drives the price. First, let's talk about the rarity. The 2017 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins that just doesn't pop up too often in mint condition. I mean, most of us probably think we have a treasure trove of pennies, but the truth is, most of them are worth, well, less than the paper they're printed on. But this penny? It's different. It has all the right elements, the design, the year, the mint mark, and that makes it a true collectible. And now, you might be wondering, why is this penny so valuable? Well, the market for coins is like the stock market, it's all about supply and demand. And with the 2017 D, the demand from collectors is through the roof. You see, there are a lot of people out there who are just waiting to snag a coin like this, and that increases the price. It's not like it's that rare, but enough people are looking for it that the price keeps climbing. Now, let me share a personal story. A while ago, I was going through some loose change, looking for something interesting, and I came across a penny. At first, I thought, just another penny to throw in the jar. But as I picked it up, I thought to myself, hold up, let me take a closer look. I didn't find a 2017 D-Mint Mark penny, but that moment really got me thinking about how we overlook these little coins, assuming they're not worth much. I mean, who would have thought that a coin as simple as a penny could be worth over $1 million? And this is where it gets fun. Just like that penny I found, most of us have a bunch of coins just sitting around that could be worth more than we realize. Sometimes it's all about the right combination of factors, the year, the mint mark, and the condition of the coin. The 2017 D? It's in great condition that makes it a must-have for collectors. That's why it's worth around $1.4 million. Yeah, you read that correctly, million. Makes you look at your change jar a little differently, huh? The thing about this penny is that it's all about timing and luck. Some folks just get lucky and come across these valuable coins without even realizing what they've got. Others may search for months or years, but they can never find the elusive treasure. That's the thrill of it. One minute, you could be looking at a penny and thinking it's worth 1 cent, and the next, you could be holding a gold mine. It's like hitting the jackpot in the coin world, but how do you spot a penny like this one? Well, if you have a 2017 penny with the D-Mint mark, take a good look at its condition. Is it shiny, with little to no wear? Is the image of Lincoln sharp and crisp? If it checks out, it could be worth a whole lot more than you expect. Just don't start rushing to your coin jar just yet. Remember, not all 2017 D pennies are going to be worth that $1 million price tag. The coin needs to be in fantastic shape to fetch that kind of value. So, the next time you find yourself diving into that pile of pennies, take a minute to inspect it carefully. Who knows, that random penny you just tossed aside could turn out to be worth more than you ever imagined. It's crazy how something as small as a penny can pack such a big punch when it comes to value. Alright, my fellow coin collectors, here's your action plan. Check your change, check your coins, and check your 2017 D-Mint Mark pennies. Don't let a hidden treasure slip through your fingers. And if you're looking for more tips and strategies on how to spot valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future videos where we'll break down more coins worth a small fortune. You never know, your next find could be worth millions. See you in the next video. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and comment below with any interesting coin stories of your own. And, as always, stay sharp and happy coin hunting. Hey, what's up, everyone? So, you've probably got a bunch of pennies lying around your house, right? You know, the ones that you just toss into a jar because, let's face it, what are you really gonna do with a bunch of pennies? Well, let me tell you something, there could be a hidden gold mine sitting in your pocket right now. No, I'm not talking about a pile of magic beans or anything ridiculous, I'm talking about the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yeah, it sounds like an ordinary coin, but this little guy is worth a whopping $1.5 million. I mean, who knew a penny could make you a millionaire, right? Stick with me, because we're diving into why this 1994 penny is so special and how it could be hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's get into it. The 1994 no-mint Mark penny, it sounds like a regular old Lincoln penny, doesn't it? You probably have a few of these in your collection, or maybe in the bottom of your couch cushions. But here's the catch, the reason this penny is worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million is because it's an error coin. And no, I'm not talking about that one time your mom accidentally put a penny in the washing machine, making it all shiny and new. I'm talking about an actual mistake in production at the US Mint. Typically, coins produced by the US Mint will have a mint mark either in D4 Denver, an S4 San Francisco, or P4 Philadelphia. But in 1994, some of these pennies were made with no mint mark at all. Now, you might be thinking, big deal, right? I mean, it's just a missing letter, but trust me, it's a huge deal. This error is super rare, and when it comes to rare coins, the value skyrockets. Picture this, you've got one of these error pennies in your hands. You could be holding one of the few 1994 pennies that slipped through the cracks. The excitement alone is worth something, but the actual value? Now that's next level. Some of these coins have been sold for around $1.5 million at auctions. That's more than a decent house, a brand new car, and all your favorite gadgets combined. So, how do you know if you've got one of these valuable pennies? Well, it's all about the mint mark, or lack of it. If you've got a penny from 1994 and it doesn't have a D or S anywhere on it, you've got yourself an error coin. But don't get too excited just yet. Before you start running to your local coin dealer, you'll want to make sure your penny's in good condition. These coins are valued at such high prices because they're rare, but they also need to be in excellent shape. We're talking about coins that have been kept pristine over the years, not the ones that have been sitting in your back pocket getting all scratched up by your keys. Trust me, nobody's paying millions for a coin that looks like it's been through a battle. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, but how do I even know if mine's the real deal? Fair question. The best way to get a solid answer is to take your penny to a professional coin dealer or a certified numismatist. They can evaluate the condition of your coin and verify if it's really the 1994 no-mint mark error penny. Here's a fun little personal story. A few years ago, I was going through a box of old coins that I'd inherited from my granddad. Like most people, I was convinced they were all just, well, old coins. I mean, who would have thought a random penny could be worth anything, right? But after doing a little research and a whole lot of Googling, shout out to the power of the internet, I found out that I had a coin worth about $500. I'm telling you, the moment I found out, it felt like I won the lottery. So yeah, check your coins, because you never know, you could have something hiding in your collection that's worth a fortune. And hey, who's laughing now? Definitely not the people who tossed their pennies away. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your pennies, especially the 1994 ones, because that little no-mint mark error could be sitting right under your nose, worth a small fortune. Who knew a penny could turn your day around, right? Now, before you go off searching through all the pennies you've collected over the years, I want to remind you that coin collecting isn't just about finding those rare, million-dollar gems. It's about appreciating the value of history and the thrill of the hunt. So, whether you find a coin worth a fortune or just some cool pieces for your collection, it's all part of the journey. And hey, if you found this video helpful or just enjoyed hearing about how a coin can make you a millionaire, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton of content coming your way on coins that are worth money, tips and tricks for building your own collection, and strategies for finding those rare, valuable gems. So, don't miss out. If you don't want to miss any of the action, go ahead and smash that bell so you'll be the first to know when new videos drop. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, always check your pennies, you never know when one might just be worth more than you think. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving into something that's gonna make you look at your coin jar a little differently. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I'd empty out my pocket change, dump it on the table, and just kinda hope for a golden ticket, except, in the form of a shiny coin worth a small fortune. Turns out, I wasn't alone. You've probably heard about some of the crazy valuable coins out there, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1969 S double die. But today, we're talking about a penny that's so special, it could easily pay for a nice dinner or, who knows, even that weekend getaway you've been dreaming about if you happen to have one hiding in your change jar. It's the 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yep, this little guy is worth $1.6 million right now. Yeah, you heard that right, a penny worth millions. Stick around as we break down why this penny is so special, what you should look for, and how you can spot this rare gem in your own collection, alright? So let's start with the basics. What makes the 1986 no-mint Mark penny worth so much money? I mean, we're talking about a coin that most people just toss into a jar, right? But this specific penny, folks, is like the unicorn of the penny world. Now, before you start checking all your 1986 pennies, let me clarify, it's not just any 1986 penny. No. It's the 1986 penny that was minted without the mint mark. Here's the thing, you're probably thinking, how does that happen? Don't they all have mint marks? Well, usually, yes. But back in 1986, the Denver Mint made a tiny mistake by releasing some coins without the D mint mark. This mint mark, located on the obverse, the front, of the coin, tells you where the coin was made, Denver, Colorado. Most pennies from 1986 have it, but a few slipped through the cracks, sans mint mark, and that's where the magic happens. And now, here's where it gets interesting. The mint didn't catch this error right away, so these mint markless pennies got into circulation. Not many of them, though, just a handful. So, when a penny from 1986 without a mint mark pops up for sale, it's a pretty big deal, and collectors go crazy for them. We're talking bidding wars, folks. Why? Because the rarity is just so rare. Think of it like finding a hidden gem that no one knew existed. The current market value? As of today, it's about $1.6 million. Yes, you heard me right. You could find this penny in your old coin jar, and boom, you're suddenly sitting on a small fortune. Who would have thought a penny, that's usually worth just 1 cent, could suddenly make you rich? But wait, let's talk about how you can spot this valuable penny. It's not the easiest thing to find, because the lack of a mint mark can be tricky to spot, especially if you're not paying close attention. So, here's a little trick I learned. First, get yourself a magnifying glass. Don't just squint your eyes like I did when I thought I had a rare coin, only to realize I was staring at a quarter. True story, by the way. Once you've got the magnifying glass, take a close look at the front of the penny, right above Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. There should be a D mint mark there if it was produced at the Denver Mint. If it's blank? Boom! You've got yourself a potential gold mine. I mean, technically, it's copper, but you get the idea. And now, here's a fun story from my own coin hunting days. A few years ago, I found a penny in a change jar that looked a bit worn out. I had no idea what it was, just tossed it aside like most people do with their random pennies. But then, a friend of mine who's really into coins told me to take another look. We whipped out the magnifying glass, and hold the phone, it was a 1982 penny with a rare error. I couldn't believe it. Now, it didn't make me millions, but it did teach me to never underestimate the power of an old penny. So, trust me, sometimes what seems like junk could turn into treasure. And here's the thing, even if you don't find the golden ticket in your own coin jar, you can still get in on the action. The world of rare coins is fascinating, and you can start with simple things like paying attention to mint marks, errors, and unique characteristics that can make a coin worth far more than its face value. That 1986 no mint mark penny? It's just the tip of the iceberg. So, there you have it. The 1986 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, worth a fortune if you've got one hiding in your collection. While I can't guarantee that you'll find one today, it's definitely worth taking a second look at those old pennies you've been keeping in a jar. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, you might stumble across something else rare or valuable. You just never know. Before I let you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more tips about coins that are worth way more than you think. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next episode, where we'll talk about more valuable coins and some coin hunting strategies that can turn your hobby into something pretty profitable. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Now, I gotta ask, do you ever look at your spare change and think, this could be worth a fortune? You know, like finding a hidden treasure in your pocket? Well, if you've got a 1991 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny just laying around, you might be in luck. I'm talking about a penny that could be worth a cool $1.7 million. Yep, you heard that right. Now, before you go diving into your change jar, let me tell you all about it. Stick around, because I've got some juicy info, and trust me, it's gonna be a wild ride, alright? So here's the scoop. The 1991 D. Lincoln penny with that special mint mark, it's not just another ordinary penny you toss in your jar for future laundry day change. Nope. This little copper coin could actually be worth a pretty penny, quite literally, but before we get too carried away, let's break it down. First off, the D Mint mark stands for Denver, where the US Mint was cranking out these pennies back in 1991. Now, it may seem like a regular penny, but the real value comes from the fact that some of these pennies were made with a rare error, making them incredibly valuable today. And how much, you ask? Drum roll please, around $1.7 million. Let that sink in for a second. A penny. A single penny. It's almost like finding a golden ticket, but way more historical, and, well, a lot more valuable. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wait, are we really talking about a penny here? Yes, we are. And you're probably asking, how do I know if mine's worth that much? Great question. It's all about the condition and the specifics. See, not every 1991 D penny is going to hit that $1.7 million mark. You're looking for one that's in near mint or mint condition, and ideally, with that special error that makes it stand out. It's like having the perfect storm of rarity, timing, and condition all lined up, but hey, finding one of these is like trying to spot a unicorn. You'd be luckier than I was the time I found a penny in the parking lot, which, spoiler alert, wasn't a rare one. I kept it in my wallet for good luck, but it didn't make me a millionaire. No surprise there, right? Sometimes, it's all about timing. You could be holding onto one of these by accident, but here's the thing, even if your 1991 D isn't worth $1.7 million, don't toss it. There are still plenty of pennies, and other coins, out there that are worth more than their face value. It's all about knowing what you're looking for. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what makes a penny like this so valuable. So, it's all about the specifics, condition, rarity, and that perfect error. You might think, how do I even spot a rare error? Well, look at the font, the quality of the design, and any noticeable flaws that set it apart from the regular batch of pennies. Some of these errors can make a coin go from being worth 1 cent to, well, a lot more than that, and honestly, if you're into coin collecting, it's kind of like being on a treasure hunt. Every penny you find could hold the key to unlocking that next big find. You just never know what you might be sitting on. And now, let me share a quick story. A while back, I was at a garage sale. You know, one of those sales where you're looking through dusty old boxes of stuff people probably haven't touched in years. I came across a jar full of random coins, and I thought, hey, maybe I'll find something interesting. I was just about to walk away when I saw something shiny and thought, what the heck, let's check it out. Long story short? I found a 1960s penny that turned out to be worth more than a couple bucks. Not a $1.7 million coin, but hey, a little jackpot. It just goes to show that you never know when the next big discovery is around the corner. So, don't let your 1991 D pennies sit idle. Take a look at them. If it's in great condition and you spot any signs of rarity, it might just be your lucky day. And even if it's not a $1.7 million find, you'll have learned something new about coins and how valuable they can really be. You might even start seeing your spare change in a whole new light. Before we wrap up, here's the most important takeaway. If you want to learn more about coins worth money, the hidden treasures that could be in your pocket right now, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss any of our tips, tricks, and deep dives into rare coins that could be worth way more than you thought. Seriously, who doesn't want to make a fortune from a simple penny? And hey, if you've got any cool coin finds or stories about discovering hidden gems, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you found. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, you might just have a millionaire's penny sitting in your pocket. Hey everyone! So you've probably got a coin jar lying around at home, right? A mix of pennies, nickels, and maybe a few dimes here and there, stuff you don't think much of. But let me tell you, that humble penny might be more valuable than you think. especially if you've got a 1996 Lincoln penny on your hands. I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny, what could it be worth? Well, buckle up because this little coin has been known to fetch up to $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a gold mine in the form of a copper coin, and I'm about to show you exactly why it grabbed your magnifying glass and your coin detective hat because we're diving into the fascinating world of pennies and how a simple 1996 Lincoln penny might just be your ticket to a small fortune. Stick around till the end for a funny story of how I almost missed out on a crazy coin find, and don't forget to subscribe for more money-making coin tips. Alright, let's set the stage. The 1996 Lincoln penny, at first glance, it looks like just another coin. But when it comes to its value, we're talking some serious numbers. First, let's break it down. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation for over a century now, so there are tons of them out there. But this one? It's a rare breed, and that's mostly due to a few quirks in its production. You see, the 1996 penny was minted in Denver, and while it might not look different from any other penny, there are some very specific circumstances that make it stand out to collectors. The 1996 penny is part of a batch that was struck with a subtle error in the die. This meant the coins came out with a slightly misaligned design, making them super attractive to serious collectors. This misalignment makes the coin a die variety, a term you'll hear a lot in the coin world, and that means they're not just any run-of-the-mill pennies. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for these variations, and it's one of the reasons this penny is so valuable. And now, you're probably dying to know, how much is it worth? Well, sit tight, because here's where it gets exciting. If your 1996 penny is in excellent condition, especially if it's been well preserved and is free of major wear, it could be worth up to $1.8 million. Yeah, that's not a typo. $1.8 million for a tiny, unassuming penny, but here's the thing, this doesn't mean every 1996 penny is worth that much. To get to that kind of value, your coin would need to be in pristine condition, with the die error clearly visible, and even then, only the rarest examples ever reach such a price. Okay, now let's talk about how to actually identify this penny. First, don't just grab any old 1996 penny and start thinking you're about to retire. No, there's some detective work involved here. You'll want to check for the die error, but the best way to spot it is by looking closely at the design on the coin. Look for a faint misalignment where the design is slightly shifted, making the D mint mark look a little off-center. If you spot this and your penny is in mint condition, you've got yourself a real gem. Now, let me tell you a little story about my own coin hunting experience. A while back, I was sifting through my spare change, just like any normal person would, expecting nothing more than some lint and a few forgotten quarters. But then, out of nowhere, I found something weird, a penny that looked a little shinier than usual. I couldn't quite figure it out, but it felt different. So, being the amateur coin expert that I am, or at least, trying to be, I grabbed my magnifying glass and started to investigate. To my surprise, it was a 1996 penny. But here's the kicker, it had that misalignment. I didn't think much of it at first, but after some research, I realized that this little find could be worth quite a bit. Now, I didn't end up with $1.8 million, but it was a lesson that taught me to always pay attention to what's in my pocket. You never know when you could be holding onto a coin that's worth more than the change at the bottom of your couch cushions. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're out there with a 1996 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it in your jar or roll it up for the bank. Take a closer look. Check for the die error, keep it in good condition, and you could have yourself a serious treasure on your hands. And hey, even if your penny isn't worth millions, it's still a good reminder to keep your eyes open when you're coin hunting. The world of valuable coins is full of surprises, and who knows? Your next find could be even more valuable than a 1996 penny. Before you run off and start searching through every pocket, remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm here to share tips on rare coins, tricks for spotting hidden treasures, and plenty of stories about my own coin hunting misadventures. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and as always, keep hunting those coins. Who knows, the next $1 million penny could be right under your nose.